Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the Watamote summary series. So in the last episode, I actually received more views than usual, and a lot of you seem to enjoy it. Anyway, I am back for another episode, and this is episode 2 of Watamote titled, Since I'm Not Popular, I'll See My Old Friend, which was released on July 15, 2013. Also, before I get started, I want to briefly mention that I was wrong about the series debut being on the 9th. Turns out it's actually on the 8th. There was just one source that said it was on the 9th. Sorry about that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Tomoko is chilling in her room while she's enjoying listening to a new CD she recently bought. As she was enjoying her music, she randomly receives a call from an old friend named Yu Narise. She noted that they both haven't spoke to each other in a long time, so Yu asks Tomoko if she's free on Saturday, and of course Tomoko being Tomoko, she's always free. So she agrees to hang out. Apparently they haven't seen each other since middle school, so Tomoko thinks she's going to ask questions like what has she been doing since the last time they saw each other, and Tomoko is definitely not up for that, as he remembered the events from episode 1. Then we get into the opening sequence. After the opening, Tomoko is eating a bunch of food, like, are you okay from the last episode? As Tomoko leaves her house, she tells herself that the past doesn't matter and she should focus more about the future. So her new goal is to have interesting things happening to tell her friend about on her scheduled hangout on Saturday. The fact that she ate breakfast twice motivates her, but that backfires as she's throwing up in an alleyway, and why the hell is this censored? It's not like blood or anything. We finally get to the high school as classes are starting. I love that Tomoko just stands here and just sits back down because he was too slow to bow in time. Tomoko reflects on what she had learned from high school, but the only thing she learned was pretending to be awake to pretending to be asleep, and that's something she can't tell you. During math class, Tomoko is starving because she threw up all her food before it could even get digested. Okay, look. Tomoko then starts considering eating her lunch early during class, and she even fantasizes about getting a lot of attention from it. I can't believe she actually likes the idea so she can brag about it to you. I just can't, you guys, I swear. Tomoko is the most cringy anime girl in history. Oh shit, I legit wasn't expecting this to happen. I forgot this is a cringe comedy anime. I haven't watched this anime in a while, okay? When I do these scripts, I actually watch the anime episodes as I'm writing them, so let's continue. Tomoko is actually eating her lunch trying to impress students, but she isn't getting any attention at all. Like, who the fuck walks up to a random person eating and be like, oh wow, you're so good at eating, man. I wish I had a powerful nutcracker jaw like yours. Imagine if Tomoko was a nutcracker all along. That's the big reveal at the end of the anime. Unsurprisingly, Tomoko gets no attention at all. During second period, the students notice a food smell and wonder who would eat their lunch this early, which made Tomoko hide her face behind a textbook. After class, Tomoko couldn't believe that people didn't find the appeal to hungry people. Like, who would intensely watch someone eat? Me to my homies. After second period, a group of students begin thinking about the second year students who gets to go on a class trip. And that got Tomoko thinking about it, as that could be something she could have told you. But then she realized the reality of going on a class trip like these. This made Tomoko not feeling well, but to make matters worse, today's art lesson is you're making a portrait of someone and you have to partner up with a classmate. During third period, Tomoko goes to the nurse's office because she wasn't feeling well, so time skip. Break time, Tomoko is relaxed on a bed, but as she looked next to her side, she noticed a guy sleeping next to her. And she gets excited because she's technically sleeping with a guy. We get into another time skip taking place after school, so Tomoko now has something she can tell you about. Suddenly, a baseball rolled towards her. Immediately after picking it up, a student came running to apologize and to retrieve the ball. Turns out it was a manager of a club. Tomoko then starts thinking about her. Again with the trash talking. But the next thing she does is rudely dubbing over the voices when the manager was talking to a guy. On her way home, Tomoko wonders what you would say when she hears about the nurse's office, as she described you as a naive and geeky girl. But she comes across these two couples as she's trying to pass by them. As she's trying to pass by, they keep getting in her way, and I've been there before. High school couples. Tomoko then begins doing the only thing she's good at. Trash talking! They begin walking up the stairs, but Tomoko is being freaky as she was checking out underneath a girl's skirt. But Tomoko immediately realized what she was doing, and she starts objecting the fact that she's basically a pervert because she was wondering what a girl with boyfriend wear. But when she looked up, they're already at the other side of the bridge, not noticing Tomoko at all. Tomoko then leans over the railings of the bridge as she took her time processing everything that has happened that day, since a lot did happen. And we finally get into the commercial break. 4 days have passed and the weekend is coming up fast. At this point, it's Friday, so the next day was supposed to be the day Tomoko meets with you, as she already had a list of things to tell you about. Tomoko is satisfied with the list as these same dumb bitches from the last episode are talking about another dumb bitch. Also, after working on the last episode, I found out that these dumb bitches actually have official names. The blondie here is Akane Okada, the short one is Hina Nemoto, the nerdy one is Yoshinori Kiyota, and the normie one is Suzuki. That's it. just Suzuki. Anyway, Tomoko, with her usual trash talking, she begins to explicitly fantasize about herself. Top 10 best anime superheroes. Tomoko's desk bonged Tomoko to horny jail where the devil belongs. As someone is speaking through the PA system, they requested a student and Tomoko to go meet a teacher named Fukuda in the faculty office, which is the art teacher's name. The reason why they got called there is because they missed art class a few days ago with the portrait assignment. So they were ordered to stay after school to finish the assignment. But the student named Hashishiba is busy with his club. And you know the typical teacher saying, you don't have to do the assignment, but you won't get a grade. Which is basically true, but I feel like they say that too often. You know what I mean? But at least they're not forcing you to do your assignment. I mean, they could have at least said it in a nicer way. Upon leaving the faculty office, Tomoko begins to follow Hashishiba, wondering if she should say something as they will be alone after school. She's not really worried because she's assuming that he doesn't have any experience with the girls, judging by his face. But he stops to tell her that her class is the other way and to ask why she's following him. She tells him that she wasn't following him, so he goes to his classroom. And embarrassed Tomoko now thinks that it looks like that Tomoko wants to be friends with him. And whoa. There is no fat shaming allowed in my presence. Besides, I think chubby people can be cute too, just like Hashishiba. Tomoko then starts calling him a jerk as he was just minding his own business. Tomoko then starts fantasizing again about being in a relationship with him as they roll off on his bicycle, but using his powerful legs, he rides too fast, which made the wind strong enough to nearly swoop Tomoko off the bike, to which he doesn't like the idea of. After school, they ended up in a classroom alone to finish their assignment they missed. Before Tomoko can even place her blank paper onto the canvas, this bastard can draw at the speed of light, so he finished the assignment in like, what, 3 seconds? If it could take you that long to do it, why didn't you just spare a few seconds and get it over with? Other than that, Tomoko now had to draw him from memory, so she poorly draws him as she assumed he poorly drew her too. Jeez. When Tomoko finished her drawing, she looked at his drawing, to which to her surprise is actually really good. She then goes to the faculty office to drop off the assignments. The art teacher made a comment on Hashishiba's art as Tomoko asked if she could make a copy of his drawing because she really likes it. It's nighttime and Tomoko is in her room so excited about the drawing he made of her. Now Tomoko has another thing to tell you about as she stated that she wouldn't mind being friends with this guy. We then get into it the next day as Tomoko is standing outside a coffee shop. Tomoko is nervous when she is about to meet Yu but is also excited to show her the drawing from the day prior. Then Yu finally comes into the shot as she appears to have a massive glow up since middle school. To Tomoko's surprise, as she didn't expect a change with her childhood friend who appeared geeky back then. So then they decide to enter the coffee shop where they made their order, and Tomoko settled down at a table while Yu is waiting for their order. The two finally started talking when they received their order. Tomoko here didn't change a bit, but Yu really did change a lot actually, as she talked a little bit about her high school life. Yu asks Tomoko if she still watched anime as they started talking about it. When finishing their cups, Yu appreciates her time with Tomoko, but Tomoko didn't feel like herself was fun at all, which kind of hurt Yu's feelings. But Tomoko tried showing her the drawing only to get interrupted as Yu wished that things stayed the way they were in middle school. Tomoko decides to do some stuff they did when they were in middle school as they went to an arcade. Yu recognizes a game that Tomoko is good at. Upon playing the game, she states that she hasn't played in a while, but as soon as the level starts, she then starts going full concentration mode, resulting in a perfect score after beating the level. An exhausted, breathless Tomoko shrugged it off as if it was nothing. They continue playing around the arcade as they continue talking about other things like high school. A few hours goes by as they were relaxing on a swing set near a lake. They were having a really good time, but Yu needed to go home as Tomoko stopped her for a second, admitting that she doesn't enjoy her high school life. But she's still doing her best, so she tells Yu that she should do her best too. Yu thanks Tomoko with what she had just said because she was depressed over a fight she had with her first boyfriend. A shocked Tomoko then puts on her headphones to listen to her recently bought Yandere Boy's Verbal Abuse CD. And we get this awesome standalone ending, which is another banger. During the credit sequence, Tomoko is on her way home then stops to play with a black cat which runs away. As she reached for her bag, she pulled out the drawing Hishishiba made of her, then this makes her appreciate the drawing. We get a post-credits scene focusing on Hishishiba. Turns out he's in a manga research club, no wonder why he's so good at drawing. As he and his clubmate were discussing about his drawing for filler background characters in the manga they were working on, they decided to let it slide since minor background characters don't matter to the story. Meanwhile, a happy Tomoko is reading manga once she arrived home from school. And that's the end of the episode. So that was episode 2 of Watamote, and I had a lot of fun to be working on this again. After receiving positive feedback from the last episode, I decided to do another episode. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. On a side note, I'm really looking forward to doing a summary of episode 3. So until next time, see you around. Suddenly a basketball, what the heck? Okay.